What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the TF Movie Show. This is just a web series. We're talking about the Transformers film franchise. This is episode number 89, and by now, I'm positive you have Transformers Rise of the Beast on physical home video. Okay, physical media. Whether it's on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, I got it in 4K Blu-ray, Steelbook Edition, delivered by Amazon. And some of you guys have already seen it many times on its digital release because the digital release came out much earlier before its physical release. I watched it again. It is still fantastic, okay? I watched it 5 times in the theater, and the last time I watched it theatrically was in July, and then I watched it again on home video release, and it is a great film. I really love this film so much. I rank it in the entire franchise as number 2. Okay, Bumblebee's first, Rise of the Beast is second, and then third is the Transformers 2007 film. I know a lot of people like the 2007 film, or prefer rather the 2007 film over Rise of the Beast, but I love them both, but I feel that Rise of the Beast is more what I want. As for the 2007 film, it will always have a special place in my heart because it gave me an amazing, wondrous theatrical cinematic experience, because nobody knew what to expect, and what they gave us was still amazing, at least to me, because I've never seen anything like that. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. Now it has set the bar. We got Rise of the Beast, and I just think that now we've gotten much better characters and much better storytelling, and the action is just like top level. Anyways, so what I'm here to talk about is, and these words are kind of brutal, but the question is, what went wrong with Transformers Rise of the Beast? And by that, I don't mean there's anything really wrong with the film. I mean, sure, it could use some improvements, as like every film can use some improvements. I got my list of criticisms and things that it can improve. But what I mean is what went wrong in terms of the box office. I mean, if you look at the box office of Transformers Rise of the Beast, it made $438.9 million worldwide, and that is a very low number. Unfortunately, it's the lowest number, or lowest box office take for the entire franchise, despite it being a fantastic film. Domestically, it made $157 million. Internationally, $281 million. International numbers are quite amazing, but the domestic numbers are like half of what the 2007 film made. And what happened there? What happened? Ticket prices have gone up. It should have made more, and you would think that the built-in audience that it had from the Michael Bay era transferred over, so it would have made more. But these numbers actually reflect a trend, okay? And now the big question is, when will we even get a sequel? Of course, we're getting the animated Cybertron prequel, the tentatively titled Transformers 1. But what about the next live action film? There was talks about another live action film directed by Angel Manuel Soto. But what happened with that? There were a couple articles about that talking about the future of it and where its stage is in development, but right now there's nothing solid going on. And of course, the box office take for Transformers Rise of the Beast will affect how and when and if the next film is going to come out. Paramount Pictures and Hasbro's, they have a great property, okay? And the thing is that they need to know what to do with it to make it well received. And Transformers Rise of the Beast was, well received by the fans, but generally speaking, for the general movie-going public and some other fans, it wasn't well received enough, at least not to the point where it would have generated double what it should have made, okay? I mean, we look at Transformers 2007, it brought in $700 million. Why did this one bring just a little bit over half, okay? It's a much better film. Okay, so let's talk about that. Now, I believe in 3 reasons. 3 very, very, very specific reasons as to why Transformers Rise of the Beast did not do well at the box office. I feel it should have brought in at least $600 million. I felt it should have brought in the same amount of money that the first Transformers film would have done did in 2007. Maybe not reach Revenge of the Fallen level Box office take at $800 million. Definitely not Dark of the Moon and Age of Extinction at $1 billion. But I would expect that it would have done better than Transformers Last Night, right? A much better film, like polar opposites, right? But what exactly went wrong? I'm going to give you 3 reasons. This is what I truly believe, okay? Okay, reason number 1. Superhero fatigue. I know that this is not a superhero movie, but it still falls in that category of like big CG, visual effects, world-ending extravaganza, okay? Like this you can put in the same realm as Avengers or Marvel films, DC films, Pacific Rim, all those big visual effects driven films, okay? And there's something called superhero fatigue, and unfortunately superhero fatigue affects this too. And that is they're wanting to watch smaller movies. I mean, look at how Oppenheimer can make nearly $1 billion, and it was just pure acting, dialogue, practical effects, 3-hour film. Like that is extraordinary how a film can do that. Where you have a film like Transformers: Rise of the Beast, which is a much bigger budget, lots of stuff going on, and highly entertaining. It can't even do. It just barely did half of what Oppenheimer did. Okay, there's something going on here, and that's with audience trends, and that is they are looking for less films of that genre. Superhero fatigue, okay? That's a real thing. And they just don't want to see as many films as this. I mean, they're more attracted to murder mysteries, horrors, thrillers, like cop thrillers, crime dramas, you know what I'm saying? Like things like this. Okay, that's what seems to be bringing in audiences these days. I mean, look at The Creator. I mean, that film is struggling at the box office, but still, an original piece, an original film, and just a good story. Maybe not super great, but still a good story, and an original concept, right? So people got that superhero fatigue. They're wanting to watch less and less of these. I don't want to say this, but headache-inducing, it's just so much stimulation that they just want to watch simple stories, characters, and story-driven films. So superhero fatigue. Now this refers to the movie-going public, but then for for Transformers to be successful, it needs to depend on the ticket purchases from the general movie-going public, okay? Not just G1 or Transformers fans. That's not enough. That's simply not enough. You got to bring in the general movie-going public because they're the ones saying, what do I want to watch tonight? Do I want to watch this movie or Transformers Rise of the Beast? And they're only going to watch one, and they're not going to revisit the other one. So that's what's happening, okay? That's superhero fatigue for you. Reason number 2 why Transformers Rise of the Beast didn't do well at the box office, or should have done more. And that is because of the reputation of the Michael Bay era. Okay, so when you watch when Transformers, the very first one, the 2007 film, did $700 million, that was from the general movie-going public and G1 fans. Okay, because who are the Transformers fans at that time? Those are fans of the original source material. They've never seen a live-action Transformers film. They've been waiting for it, okay? Some of them loved it, some of them hated it. But in the end, those that hated it still bought the ticket. And the thing is, it might not have met their expectations, and then Michael Bay gave them Revenge of the Fallen, and then he gave them a Shockwave in Transformers: Dark of the Moon, and then he gave them Dinobots in Age of Extinction, right? So the fans kept on waiting and waiting and waiting for what Michael Bay offered them. It didn't meet their expectations, but they're really curious to see what they'll get next. And finally, they gave up with Transformers Last Night. That Rotten Tomato score was so low that they decided that, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not giving any of my money to this franchise anymore because every time, and I'm speaking like from the G1 perspective, every time that I give my money to this franchise, they let me down, okay? And I get it, okay? These films aren't perfect, but I still enjoy them for what they are, okay? I'm in that boat, okay? But for a lot of G1 fans, they're just like, okay, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with The Last Night. I'm even done with Bumblebee. Why would I even want to watch a solo film about Michael Bay's version of Bumblebee? Okay, so they didn't really give it a chance, right? And that's why it didn't make very much money. In any case, that's what happened. You could see you could see an incline in the box office, and then you see a huge decline, and that was because of the lower quality of storytelling up to the release of Transformers Last Night. So it's that Michael Bay era fatigue. They're just done with it. They're so done with it, and they know that Transformers Rise of the Beast is still produced by Michael Bay, so they're like, okay, it's another one. I'm not even gonna give it a chance. Okay. The thing is that here's the crazy part. Okay. Transformers Rise of the Beast, they didn't want to, they decided that, and by they I mean G1 fans, they didn't want to give their money to watch it theatrically, but then upon digital release, so maybe they'll watch it there, and then they later decided that, you know what, this is actually a good movie. It's a shame that it didn't make more at the box office because I want to see where they're going to go next. So that is so ironic because like they should have actually spend their money to go watch this film. Okay, there's a I've read the comments. I've been on social media. A lot of G1 fans didn't give this film a chance theatrically, and of course then combined with reason number one, and that is people are just tired of these types of films. The general movie going public, they just decided not to go watch it. Okay, now here's reason number three, and I truly believe this, I truly stand by this, okay? And it's really simple. Rotten Tomatoes. RottenTomatoes.com. This website that gives you a final score, and it essentially tells you should you watch this movie or not. Okay? To this date, a lot of people don't even really know how the website works. They think that this is an all definitive score, but actually it's a culmination of all these critics, okay? And if the critics say that, oh, it's an average movie, that still constitutes as a rotten tomato, not a fresh tomato, a rotten one. So it has, the critic has to give it a glowing score for it to be a fresh tomato, and there are just not enough of those, and you know how critics feel about these films. You really do, okay? Over the course of all these years, you know by now how critics really feel about Transformers films. Okay, they still associated with Michael Bay, even though he's got very little to do with it actually. But the fact is that there's that negative energy surrounding these films, and not just from the critics, but also like the Transformers fans as well as the general movie going public. They just have this negative feeling about these films. But then combined with a low Rotten Tomato score, that's just enough for a lot of people to decide. And I'm talking about general movie going public and Transformers fans. They'll decide that, you know what, I'm done. It's got a Rotten Tomato, even though it's at a high 52%, which still constitutes as a Rotten Tomato. They're gonna decide that I'm not gonna watch it. I'm just not gonna watch it. It's got a low score. So here's what I believe. I mean, first of all, it's sad that a website dictates your decision. You can't even make your own decision. But here's what I believe what's going to happen next, okay? First of all, the studios, Paramount Pictures, Hasbro Studios, they're all like thinking about, okay, what do we do for the next release? We're not going to spend another, $200 million in production costs, $200 million in marketing just to break even, okay? Break even is good. But of course, their expectation and their goal was obviously to make more money than Transformers Last Night, which they didn't even do. All right, so they're thinking to themselves, are we going back to the drawing board? Are we going to continue? Transformers 1, the animated Cybertron sequel, is going to go forward, and that's already happening, okay? But as for live action film, that is, honestly, I think it's in limbo, okay? I know they got the ideas. I know they got scripts. I know they got writers. They even have a director, okay? That might all change. Now the question is when we're going to get the next film, and if it's even happening. And I'll tell you, this decision would have been so much easier for the studios had it made more money. But how can it make more money? And it all comes down to reason number three. Reason number three will dictate everything, and that is its Rotten Tomato score had to have been like 80% or higher. That's the only way. It's got to be Bumblebee level. And why do I use Bumblebee as an example? Because Bumblebee has a 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is a much more successful film, relatively speaking, considering the production budget was only $130 million, but it quadrupled that, making over $400 million. So that turned a huge profit for Paramount Pictures and Hasbro, okay, relatively speaking. Now you're spending a lot more money, okay, but it just, I mean, did it lose money? Did it break even? It definitely didn't make a profit, I'll tell you that right now, okay, but you know, we don't really count home video, digital release, whatever, right? I'm talking about at the box office, okay? That's the real deal. So, that's all it needs to do. That's all it needs to do. Audiences, general movie-going audiences, G1 fans, Transformers fans of the Michael Bay era, what they want to see is they will always check the Rotten Tomatoes score. I know that some people say or claim or feel that, you know what, whatever, I don't care about what Rotten Tomatoes say, but the fact is that Rotten Tomatoes has played a huge role in deciding factors for people to go watch a movie. It plays a huge role in the movie industry, okay? And it's gotten way too much power, to be completely honest, because they even do countdowns to the tomato meter reveal. They'll be like, in 5 days, we're going to reveal the tomato meter score for blank film, for this film, okay? And, you know, it creates hype, and then it'll make you decide, am I watching this movie? Because, like your mind is subconsciously decided that, you know, you're hyped for the score more than the movie itself. You're like, I'm hyped for the score. If it's super high, I'm going. If it's super low, then okay. Well, my disappointed, like, my buzz, it has buzzkill, you know, it killed the buzz, right? So now I'm not even gonna watch it anymore. It's just garbage, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's really unfortunate, but can you imagine if the next Transformers film actually, or even let's just say Rise of the Beast, let's say Rise of the Beast actually did like 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, that would bring so many fans or so many audiences to watch this film, contributing to the box office. They're not even Transformers fans. They just want to see, like, hey, what's playing at the theater? I don't know. What should we watch? Let's check Rotten Tomatoes and see what's actually got a high score. Boom, Transformers Rise of the Beast at 96%. Whoa, this must be really good. Let's go check it out, even though I don't know anything about it. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. This website is so powerful, and it plays such a huge part in the movie industry. It can take down films, or it can make them into franchises. Okay, so that is the real deal. That's what society has become in the entertainment industry, which is really unfortunate, but you know, there's no stopping this website, okay, until someone decides to hack it. And I think, honestly, I think it's the bane of the movie industry. It is something that is going to tear this industry apart if things keep on going the way they're going, okay? So, anyways, that's all I got to say in this video. I know it's a lot just to talk about a website, but at the end of the day, you know, we want to watch the next film, but how are we going to get there, okay? How are we going to get there? I've listed the reasons why it's not going to get there, and that's just the truth, okay? Anyways, what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section below. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.